kwa ajili ya Allah. Kilicho anafanya yote wacha na kwa ajili ya Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala amesema subhanahu wa ta'ala, inna anzalna ilayka alkitaba bilhaqqi fa'budillah. Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala say that indeed we have sent down to you the book, O Muhammad, in truth. So worship Allah, being sincere to him in religion. Adonga jo sura diga. Sura mini ne surati Zumar. Aya ingazo na kwere iri. Ni iri kwere na. Adonga jo, inna anzalna ilayka alkitaba bilhaq fa'budillaha mukhlisan. Adonga jo mtume Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam ni amepemini buku. Amasendimini buku. Adada. So mtume ojo Muhammadi miabudu mai, miabudu adonga mukhlisan. Ibada mivuri bate adu makosa holi bate ikhlas niya mivuri bate alu. Ala lillahi dinul khalis. Adonga ni dini mini fe adonga ni ibada mini ga adonga ni bate khalis bate ijazi piwala. Adukina miosa dini bida siku, miosa ibada mivuri, miosa bida siku, ibada mivuri batelua alu. Mini usu adonga jo dini, mtume jo dini, khulafa rashidin jo dini. Ulama piri a ikijo riba dini. Ibada badingwa dile. Madip Islam, condition number aluribe ikhlas. Condition number iri mutaba. Mutaba iflasi. Ikhlasi mini aji ibada ngazo. Ibada mini ngadi. Asisile mini ibada ngazori ile adonga la mifeni. Asi alusi. So ibada mivuri bate mutaba. Mutabari muwafakatil shari. Lebate Qur'ani njeyo alagara. Hadisi njeyo alagara. Adonga jo Qur'ani ga dini, mtume Muhammadin ojo Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam jo dini. Imbata Islam amavuri jo alaga dini aira di shar'an. Wa muwafaqati sunnati Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Lebate imbata amani sumu ojo Muhammad vuri sallallahu alaihi wasallam vuri. So aka ibada nga style disi le ama make sure ibada mavuri kate ibada mino sabida si dan kushiriki si mio sariasi mio sa yo dunya vuri si ile lu dunya adu ile akhiraku dido Islam membata gamanisi. Wandugu wapenzi katika imani, namna tulisema maudhui yetu ya leo na kamatana na ibada, kumcha Allah tabaraka wa taala. Kumcha Allah tabaraka wa taala. Tunamcha Allah tabaraka wa taala kila siku, tunasema tunaswali, tunafunga shahar Ramadhan, tunatoa sadaka, tunatoa zaka, tunafanya ibada vingi. Sasa ibada ni nini? Ala ma'rifati al-Islam fi al-ibada. Al-ibada اسم جامع لكل ما يحبه الله ويرضاه من الأقوال والأعمال ظاهرة وباطنة. Kilicho unatenda, kila kitu mwenye Allah tabaraka wa taala anapenda kwa waja wake. Min al-aqwal, kwa mambo ambayo waja wake anatamka na ulimi. Wal a'mal, na wale ambaye mwenye nafanya na kwa matendo. Na mambo za roho, nia zako, hizi zote ni ibada. Wandugu wapenzi katika imani, ikiwa tunafanya ibada yetu, wacha tujua ibada iko na sharti yake. Sharti yake ya kwanza huwa al-ikhlas, kukuwa na roho safi. Kukuwa na roho safi kukamatana na ile ibada unataka fanya ya nini. Na ikhlas, maksud al-ikhlas wa niya wal maksud bihi wa ifradullah subhanahu wa ta'ala bilmaksudi wa taa, bilqasdi wa taa. Ikiwa tunaenda fanya ibada yetu, kwanza navidi tuuliza tunafanya kwa nani? Bila shaka katika Islam ibada unafanya kwa Mungu na unafanya kwa roho moja, na unajua kwamba Allah tabaraka wa taala ambaye atakulipa kukamatana na ibada yako hii. Wandugu wapenzi, Allah tabaraka wa taala amesema kwa Mtume Muhammadin sallallahu alaihi wasallam, inna anzalna ilayka alkitaba bilhaqqi fa'budillah mukhlisan lahu din. Tumeteremsha kwako kitabu wa Mtume Muhammadin sallallahu alaihi wasallam kwa haki. Fa'budillah, umcha Allah tabaraka wa taala, mukhlisan, tena kwa safi, lahu dini, kwake ni dini. Ala lillahi dini khalis, kwa Mungu ndi usafi ya dini. Walladhina ittakhadhu min dunillahi awliya ma na'buduhum illa liyuqarribuna ila Allahi zulfa inna Allaha yahkumu bainahum fima hum fihi yakhtalifun inna Allaha la yahdi man huwa kadhibun kaffar. Allah tabaraka wa taala amesema hiyo katika surati Zumara aya ya 2 mpaka aya ya 3 ya kwamba o bana Mtume Muhammadin sallallahu alaihi wasallam, tumeteremsha kwako hiyo Qur'ani bil haki, kwa ukweli. Fa'budillah, mcha Allah tabaraka wa taala, mukhlisan lahu din, kunyenyekevu kwako, kufanya dini yako kwa Allah tabaraka wa taala kwa usafi, sio kuchanganyika na bida na shirki na ria na vinginevyo. Ala lillahi dinul khalis, kwa Allah tabaraka wa taala ndio usafi ya dini. Walladhina takhadhu min dunihi awliya, those who take apart from Allah protectors, wale watu ambao anachagulia wengine ndio wachunga au wapantaka Allah tabaraka wa taala. Hii kama kufari Quraysh wanafanya, wanatia Lata, Manata wal Uzza, masanamu zao, hii ya riziki, hii ya nini, hii ya kutoa bala, hii ya kuchunga sisi, hii ni macho mbaya, hii ni nini. Allah tabaraka wa taala anasema ma na'buduhum illa liyuqarribuna ila Allahi zulfa, au katika itikadi yao, katika nia zao, wa kwamba sisi hakuomcha watu hizi masanamu hizi isipokuwa ya kufikisha sisi karibu na Allah tabaraka wa taala. Wandugu wapenzi katika imani, sharti ya 2 baada ya ikhlas ni muwafaqati shar'i, mutaba. Wacha ibada yako na kamatana na shari. Wacha ibada yako na kamatana na nini? Allah tabaraka wa taala amesema katika Qur'an, na Mtume Muhammadin sallallahu alaihi wasallam amesema katika hadithi zake masahih, na wasahaba amefuata hiyo mambo, hususan khulafai rashidin, kama vile ibada za salatu tunafanya, kufunga tunafanya, zakat tunatoa, tuko na maibada mingi ambaye hakuna doubt makosa. Ikiwa wanaleta ibada mwenye watu nauliza hii inatoka wapi, inatoka wapi, nafawe kapole, usiharakisha kwa ile ibada paka we confirm, hakikisha hiyo ibada ya haki au sio ya haki. Kupata ibada ni haki, lazima Allah tabaraka wa taala amesema juu yake, lazima Mtume Muhammadin sallallahu alaihi wasallam amesema juu yake, na lazima Mtume amefanya au sahaba zake wa khulafai rashidin amefanya. Hivi ni ibada. Lakini ibada mwenye utafanya, mwenye tatoka kinyume na mafunzo ya Bwana Mtume Muhammadin sallallahu alaihi wasallam, usitia kwa kichwa yako ati unafanya ibada. Hiyo hapa anafanya ibada. Hii ni ibada yako, si ibada ya Islam. Ibada kama Islam ika ibada nga ibada la kate adonga jola gadini ojo Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam jola gadini sahaba mavu kiram Abu Bakari, Umar, Uthman, Ali ingaki ibada rira joke ala gadini ibada rimieche inga waswasi koli. lakini ibada zamani idima asile niku idima base ibada ringa ngwa ni amani ku amalu ibada ringa fuadini amosu Quran gaku hadisi gayo kan kubakilo amole aya si ngoni aya da maifi adudileku ibada kate adada ku hivi usudi magaranti dini kule inga ibada da ku askumilo asaranga afabadi ve ibada da dongani fe mini dai Mtume Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam imba emira Mtume Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam jo man ahdatha fi amrina hadha ma laysa minhu fahuwa rad agu chiri kaijo aziaju dila ama dini diga Islam gadia baguda ma joda gori difule adonga joda aiku yoyote mwenye taleta kitu impya katika dini ya Islam Mtume Muhammadin sallallahu alaihi wasallam nasema man ahdatha fi amrina hadha ma laysa minhu fahuwa rad yoyote mwenye taleta mambo impya katika Islam ambaye sio kwa mafunzo yetu ambaye sio Mtume Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam amefundisha au makhulafai rashidin hiyo mambo anarudisha kwako hakuna faida wanaribu saa yako tu katika dunia whoever innovates something in religion the kind of worshiping we really know if we are praying 5 times a day the evidence are there if we are giving zakah the evidence are there if we are giving zakah or sadaqah the next step the evidence are there as we are fasting this holy month of Ramadan the evidence are there those are kind of worshiping that we have no doubt and those are the kind of worshiping that we have a guarantee that we are doing for the wajhullah that Allah will be the one to pay us and we shall have hope in it but the kind of worshiping that we don't have the assurance of it there is no guarantee that it is from Allah there is no guarantee that it is from Prophet it is baseless Prophet didn't do it the 4 companions the caliphate didn't practice it and didn't teach about it you come and get it later you want to put it in Islam no problem you will put it but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said whoever innovate whoever do some shirk with me man ashraka bi ghairi taraktuhu wa shirku whoever associate anything in worship with me I leave that person with his kind of shirk then it is that person that you associate in worshiping with Allah is the one to pay you but Allah will not pay you as well Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said man ahdatha fi amrina hadha ma laysa minhu fahuwa rad whoever innovates in Islam which is not part of our teaching which is not part of our practice is taken back to him he will not be paid for it so my dear brothers and sisters shurut the condition for accepting ibadah they are like 1 it has to be ikhlas pure heart we should have pure heart in worshiping Allah the second thing it is mutaba we should follow Prophet Muhammadin sallallahu alaihi wasallam in that act of worshiping whatever we are going to do we should know Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us and it has been done during Prophet time because there is no ibadah right now me and you which will bring better than the Prophet time where Prophet said khairul kuruni qarni the best generation is my generation of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam thumma alladhina yalunahum then after that is the second generation after my generation thumma alladhina yalunahum then the one after that one tabi'in wa tabi'in if we take the kind most of the innovations that which circulated to our generation up to now they started from Fatimiyya from the 4th generation after the best generation which Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned. But the innovation which happened during the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the shirk associating things with Allah during the time of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was stopped. Prophet warned people and people left them, and the decay, the generation was good. Up to the third generation, no one could stop. To that generation of Shaykhul Islam Ibn Taymiyyah, whereby we can see Tawheed, that people are now ignoring Tawheed, teaching of Tawheed in schools. They are not teaching. Most schools who are ignoring teaching of Tawheed. You must be asked yourself, you should be ashamed of yourself for not teaching Tawheed. Tawheed is oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whereby if you teach it, people will know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and they will worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But if you ignore it, people will worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala anyhow, they will not do the right thing. So, Madhub Islam ki, lea jo amani, sa mavuro kori, ma moderator la di jomani sa okobo, madi stop dia, ijo azikate zitangachi, lebazi, bate topic diga, zita mavuri bate, ijo amani le, faida usupi dini gari, adrukini zitanga agata vuriku. Askwa madriapiri, ijo kinini, ijo kiela, ale ijo Islam vurikini. Afa Fudail bin Iyad kini, ibada, ikali ibada nga, ibada di benga Qur'ani ga, ibada benga Sunnah ga. Shuruti qabul al-ibada, Fudail bin Iyad kini, an yakuna khalisan wa sawaban. Fudail bin Iyadi la sura zi suratul mulk ga, tabarakalladhi biyadihi al-mulk. La sura aya adongani jo liyabluwakum ayyukum ahsanu amala. Bazi Fudail bin Iyad ahsanu amala di adu. Kini ahsanu amala di amala ziafazalru. Bate ijo nifi adongani, ikhlas mivura adongani, wa aswabahu bate ijo mutume Muhammadin sallallahu alaihi wasallam nimba amani. Barakallahu li wa lakum fil Qur'anil azim wa nafa'ani wa iyyakum bima fihi min ayati wa dhikril hakim. أستودعكم الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. جزاك الله خير Sheikh في الدنيا والآخرة. Thank you for that beautiful teaching, Sheikh, and I hope the listeners outside there, they have taken, the message has been taken, everybody has grasped it already, and this message, we pray it should be of benefit to all of us all. We are talking about the kind of worship in Islam. He was actually giving us the kinds of worship and how our worship should be accepted. I know today, thank you so very much that you have made work easy for me. You have used at least almost all the language that I needed. But alhamdulillah for that. So if you have to look at the concept of worship in Islam, it's actually very different from the concept of worship in other religions, and is therefore in general, actually, worship is understood to mean the observance of certain rituals, in like praying, fasting, giving zakat, as you are given here, and also doing good works is also an act of worship. So that means we should do what was taught. We should not just bring our own that was not taught by the Prophet, and that was not indicated in the Quran, because we have the sources that we follow. When the Prophet was living in his farewell message, he said, I leave you with two things, the Quran and then the Sunnah. These are the two things that he left with us. That means when we differ in the Quran, you come and check its teaching in the Hadith. So the acts of worship all were taught. Now, dearest listeners, the studio line is 0782 423127. Studio line ni 0 roiri suiri na alu iria 0. Naweza kupiga simu katika studio line 0782423127. Mkisafungua line tayari. Nimebakisha dakika 5 kutoka kwa studio hapa, lakini unaweza ukapiga simu lako alafu tutasheki kwa studio hapa, atajibu swali lako. So Let's have the first caller. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Naam.
Maru Nasra Yasini.
Nasra Yasin. Naam. Naam. Hizi mizita. Naam. Sheikh Lamiz Stadium Vira. Access FM. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Naam, Abdulaziz. Asante. Shukran. Naam. Allahumma amin. Mi network mkeko. Ya, hizi mizita. Naam. Network atondea singizi. Abdulaziz. Hizi dimista edika mi network la tunukeko. Naam. Naam. Aya wadi 4. Okay. Aya. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Access FM. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Naam.
Kubra.
Naam. Hiya. Yeah, let us listen to the last caller, Access FM. Hello. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yeah, 4 minutes are.
Hakorega chance ya. Naam. Allahumma amin.
Amin.
Okay. And let's have the last caller of the day, Access FM. Hello. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Naam, Mikidad. Naam, Mizita.
Izinga zitamivurudika. Dad.
It's okay. I've got that question. Access FM. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Mi room isimu gangajenga hizi mister.
Laga. Mustaka zi zakat yo. Kila mai mambo ezuko. Ay ndio mama tambani. Ay ili ipinda ndo mara ito la mlaza tungwanya.
Okay. Waalaikum salam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. She has an orphan. Waalaikum salam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Naam. Asante.
Amin.
Allahumma amin.
Lakini mimi sala rama doga sala ga asnya la mani jozike ati. Ko amawajo bara dodo ya jonga ontikana zio do ontikana dalalo muma tigara.
Naam.
Mai continue ma sala da sala ngara la sira wala jafiko.
Okay.
Dan tangi
Naam.
Ma yako tumamsala gama kitiga.
Naam.
Wala ma were asito musuma magerko ko zewa mburi tesi diko. Mamu ko atutu maro mamu gadi ziko siwa joli atale ni salam bese. Salam ka sebo kalasi. Ako ma reura. Kama kire na untikana siri wala jamaa zanti dagara dai wala taijura niva.
Easily drisi da ba mini family vuri wala bazi.
That she didn't integrate.
Okay. Okay, sure.
Alright, that marks our last caller of the day. Waalaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. That's our last caller of the day, and I think we may not pick more calls. Access FM.
Hello.
Assalamu alaikum. You are our last caller.
Waalaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Amana, naam.
Kama pelu salamu pega juga.
Naam.
Asa di kodea maza salamu jamani. Bila sampai video salam pe assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Aya. That's our last caller of the day, and we may not pick more calls, dearest listeners. Our time is out, and we are getting out of the studio just in the next 5 minutes. If you can answer those questions, starting from Amana about salam. Some people say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Is that greeting authentic as per the Sunnah?
For me, I'm starting with our sister Salama Onjivu. Ama amvopi Salama Onjivu ga zita kini baziki zitafe Salamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Lakini baziki jo Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Litani ijo mukeri ngoi. Salama bila shaka zita mukeri okwerai. Salamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Lakini imini jo ta'ala wa barakatuh dai
is not in the Sunnah.
Bidani.
That is
bidani. Ijo ringa Umar bin Abdullah bin Umar ni bazi isedegu. Sedegu kan banvengonia. Itia dini. Ine chera
sneezing. Yes.
He sneezed. Then Abdullah bin Umar, after hearing the person agura jo alhamdulillah, Abdullah bin Umar amvidi yarhamkallah. So da mafutia bazi va sneezdika itia. Jokini alhamdulillah rabbil alamin wa salatu wa salam ala rasulullah. Abdullah bin Umar afuchiri da mafutia agura azidi mievu manchiri adiosi. Abdullah bin Umar kini mini josa disi mingi dikiani mandi kiku prophet imba amako. Mere chera salama. So ijo azinongeza mini ajidiki ba kukeamve.
Because the Sunnah says when you're greeting you say assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Full stop. Something like ta'ala is not there in the Quran or the Hadith. That's bida. So azin number iri kini Halima from Ajumani.
Halima kini iri achi gerkoga aligirkoga uko azichi leta ukura azi ukura ledizi kan mvuiwa dini ifla sirita musalaga
ukura ledizi lakini uja Federico I think she didn't greet her. She proceeded with her journey. So she's asking, what is the teaching on this? Did she do bad or no?
No, what she did to purify
she
her,
just responded with the salam without
that is the
hand.
best thing.
But the woman
because the woman is najis. Ukuda najis ru mide jora muke da mavutia memu yo de jobi kuda ni yere adansi ituma anda mata musalaga asko mane ruhurwa mivuda asi invu iwazi werechi mata musalaga ituma banira fa ini ngara onji. So azida adikan nasra yasin izikini dua bani ngagu ka drara 40 days larben karama badi batuke amaraba islam ba amani afaki simple agu ka drara mtume Muhammadin sallallahu alaihi wasallam kini di mahadithi ga idha mata ibn adam inqata amaluhu illa min thalatha binadam ka drara idi mamal dria alite amala chepiriki kilo amalingazo gerkonaga sadakatul jariya sadaka ini feidi muzikan kugayira baki yidamfu au ilmu yuntafa biha sadakatul jariya ika miocho hata yombe sira mi yombe chisi yombe ra baki yombe dana da miva thawabu usu au ilmu yuntafa biha isi kitabu ra baki kitabu da lakisi faida usu diniga da mi thawabu la mudile au waladun salih yadu lahu kan ku mva muke idimini dua da ochote mi adripi ochote mi mva ate ochote islam ki ulama ikira kini waladun salih can comprise of your brothers, sisters, even Muslims. They are inclusive. That's why in prayer we also pray ربنا اغفر لنا والذين سبقونا بالإيمان ولا تجعل في قلوبنا غلا للذين آمنوا. Ina tera so lakini dua amavu Islam gari sharia imbama aguda kadrara dua da bala kabur garale ojo Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam sabani mubazizi bazi ba kabur gajo istaghfiru li akhikum fa innahu al'an yus'al. Dua dai cara mini la kabur garai amani la ba piria amu dale kaburga mu basi kaburga baba kaburga do amani la convoy dai do da chabaira da mavutia do amana jikini larbeni kamstasar karamari wallahi manvopi yasra nasra yasin do di maasli yo miusu kitabu qur'ania do da yo miamu sunaga do da yo miamu tabi'in ga dua dayo tabita kurun mufaddala na dikidria dua maninga larbeni karama kamstasa dua dikidria yo diki israiliyat qila wa qal. So dua chiri amalu dua iaguda nisa chiri si adukina mabaki mve amamu rivuga ma dua ladini sharia islam vuri imba ma dileko kan si kale baki mve mibani sadaka fe mibani nyaka fe sadaka meiti ni miocho fera lakini adukili miki mve bamu mini dua la meiti daniku dua chepirari ki miocho lara ama la maskiti ga dua ga miocho la dusi iba chiri ocho lara nechera ijo namba na da Abdul Aziz prayer disturbance kini puspusi kalimirotia usu misalaga sala dansi ika muselile mi make sure angu mini selizori wate tohiri limi make sure security angu davuri muke lakini ada Abdulaziz ini puspusi dale chida puspusi akwari miocha para kweli ika ni puspusi dimivo akwari miocha paku puspus azir lekia viba kipye ini ra sahaba zichi badinve Abu Huraira ribadinve dini adiosi le puspusi sana le mburanga sana so le mite Abu Huraira le lakini jodi kafe afazi amveri ochogo kan adu ini dini baz afazid dangerous lemichi anira li binadamu ocho toleretiku dibi odonga va ocho mitura. So aziri kubra kini usu sende maskiti ga siling turtoy musu siling turtoy anna sende dara madidengo ni zambi alagachi zitatu kubra vuri kubra ini che sende da mivuri ko da tumi sende ko inya sende da jo sende da ika ni che misu maskiti ga ika bazi mafapo usu maskiti ga miasapa asumini miafapada ba miafapani afapada ajikiro alusende dibe kubra ika bazi motkari usu maskiti adale motkari asu motkari dumini ika bazi pikipiki usu maskiti adale pikipiki da dumini afariki diajikiru sende dibe kubra inga di makosa ni lemisu turto azira igo turto dara ika aguda suku ife chikasi maskini aziba nani adonga simitu. So zita yachi zaida Muhammadi kini sunati leili zaida Muhammadi salat mathna hadith Aisha radhiallahu anha. Aisha kini mtume Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam kini sala amani selini sidi baselingoni mathna mikiseli iri miseliri misalam fe miseli iri misalam fe miocho seli su mi ba witiralu kan ko miocho seli azia mi do witiriba iflas miocho seli su mi alzini ba dunyalo kan ko miocho seli witiridi iflas salamini seli iri ki ojo Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam kini as-salatu al-layl mathna fa in khashiya ahadukum as-subha agu kaide orisikini subu la mudiusu fayulwattir idi witirife idi salaf seli alo inna allaha watrun wa yuhibbul witr adonga alo ahad leva fa alori lesana iflas leva mi seli alo dara meretera salati leile rikiriri ika seli ririri ata ika le sepeli kosi lakini ika le doseli de okodini le ife mi lara. So ani razita de arikide kibo kansi izamba zidi amaru nusra Muhammad kini dima anjazi kidale orphans kidini kani zitari fi madri yako so ani kumocho azitari mvingoni
now without forgetting, somebody yesterday asked a question. This person is from Umbara. Yesterday asked a question and I think it wasn't answered. That for him the father is a Christian, and the father has invited them to go for Eid at the home there where the father is. So he was like, what's the teaching on that?
The father is Christian.
Yes. And for him he's a Muslim.
For him he's a Muslim.
So they have invited him to go and have Eid with the father together at home there.
Okay. Meaning the father wants to celebrate the Eid
with them there at his home.
This one has no problem.
Okay.
This one has no problem for non-Muslims to join Islam's to be happy with Muslims, and that is the source which can attract them to know what Islam is about. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, وَإِنِ اسْتَجَرْكَ أَحَدٌ مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ فَأَجِرْهُ حَتَّى يَسْمَعَ كَلَامَ اللَّهِ. Anyone from disbelievers, if want to seek help or want to come close to you, allow him to come close to you until he can know about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So going to your father there to celebrate Eid together according to his willing has no problem, provided you are the one going to slaughter, and you are the one going to teach them. That will attract them, inshallah.
Okay, our time, I think our time is out and we are to get out of the studio. Dearest listeners, this program is brought to you by House of Zakat and Waqf Uganda. We will be again back to the studio until tomorrow.
Abdul Majid, I remember Abdul Azizi, his second question was about Imam who has no nikah.
Yeah, okay.
Is it allowed for him to tie their nikah?
Their nikah is
Imam has no nikah, can tie nikah. Tying nikah does not need someone to have nikah.
okay.
Hey, what does he mean by nikah? Like
then-
Abdul Majidi, if you don't have nikah, but you have the knowledge of tying the nikah, I come with my wife, you can tie my nikah.
Okay.
Alhamdulillah, that's no problem.
Okay.
No.
So our time is up and we are to get out of the studio. And thank you very much, brother Al-Islam,
thanks so much.
Sheikh Al-Islam Shaban Bantariza
No.
Fatak, for that beautiful teaching of today. Dearest listeners, we will meet again tomorrow from 9 to 10. That will be our time for tomorrow. But for today's case, we have come to the end of our program. I see who. Yeah. This program is brought to you by House of Zakat and Waqf Uganda. Remember, when you are contributing, you can contribute in any of our lines that we have been giving you previously here from the studio here. You can contribute through MTN MomoPay. You can contribute through Airtel Merchant ID, and you can also contribute through the bank accounts. So, thank you very much for today's for listening to us today. Our time is really up and we are getting out of the studio. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi
Wa alaikum
wa
salam wa
barakatuh.
rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you. People are asking you questions here on your Facebook here. If I answer them. Just give me that mic there. You can finish it. No.
I quit.
Yeah, you can finish it. Nearly. You got this in the studio. You studio line. You should any access session with line in the Waalaikum salam. Naam. Okay.